Reaching a big milestone in another big year. Time just keeps on marching on, that is crystal clear. 23 full years of questing, no banks or deaths, I've got my tricks. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2006. Welcome back to October 23rd, 2006. Finishing up our Slayer journey here, for now at least. Getting more tasks complete, more levels, more drops, and 79 strength is our first level here. That's a quest requirement. Still working on a higher level strength requirement for a quest that comes out before that, though. A lot of requirements don't actually exist when you need to have gotten other ones previously. Well, that's okay. Getting more strength XP means we hit harder, so that's something. Was already part of the way through this task from getting 69 Slayer last time, so not too many drops here. Finishing it up. That was also a 10th task in a row we've managed. That is 25 Slayer points, which don't exist. Can use these to cancel a task that doesn't exist yet. And there are a few of those here. So if we get that, we can actually continue the streak. In theory. Next task is a blast from our past. More fire giant slaying. Don't think they even drop the rune axe anymore, since that was a RuneScape classic rare drop table kind of business. So no 1 in 5,000 of getting something useful here. Just a few runes, blood runes specifically, rune arrows. They've got like a couple law runes, that's alright. A few salvages for a little bit of money, coin drops, lobsters, prayer potions. No prayer potions. Didn't get any strength potions either, that would have helped a little bit. Accuracy was not great, like 62%. But we were safe spotting around the corner here. There's also opportunities for safe spotting in the waterfall dungeon instead. But that would have required us to drop all of our combat things, go and get the pebble and the necklace, and then possibly keep that in the inventory. Just really not worth it. Not when the Brimhaven dungeon is right here. Much better spot. This feels a bit low level here. Banshee's task. Was one-shotting huge amounts of them, because they're very weak. Drops wise, we got Mystic Gloves, Chaos Runes, and some coins. The coin numbers again are just wildly wrong, but it's fine. Also got a Ghost Hunter Goggles, which doesn't exist, so I just left that on the ground. Sad times. I think we can put that in the house later. Not now, though. For now, we're gonna alch the Dark Mystic Gloves. It's another thing we could do. Get full sets of Mystic in the house. But we have Lunars instead. That's just better. 86 hit points. Not Constitution yet. That is nothing but more health. And I'm okay with that. Even more drops that don't exist. Basilisk boots. Oh boy. These are like range boots or something. They're not good. Almost got this Basilisk task done in one inventory. Not quite, though. Well, that was a bit of a trek. Coming all the way over here to Letya for an Elves task. Which is definitely something. It's definitely something. Helping them out with all their civil war and stuff, and then we just come here and smack them with halberds. Picked up a crystal teleport seed in case we needed to come back. We didn't. There is a chance we get another Elves task here. That'd be inconvenient. They have an altar here, so we just constantly pray, which is very nice too. And also, very weirdly, they sometimes instantly respawned. So, that was weird. Drops-wise, we got some green d'hide, salvage, bunch of runes. Got a good number of nature runes. That was nice. Herbs, coins, the teleport seed, and a few bits of food. overall, not really worth coming here for, if it wasn't for the Slayer task, obviously. Bloodveld's task. Ate a bunch of their pizzas that they drop. Weird stuff out here. 80 strength. Milestone. Achievement. Unlocks. Well, that is crossing a cave shortcut south of Dorgish Khan. Later. Also requires 80 agility and 80 range, so couldn't do that even if we wanted to. The Gorgonite Mall in Daemonheim. Scrimshaw Vampirism. Terrasor Mall, also all later. And a recent change, well, recent-ish enough. 45% of critical strike damage. Critical strikes were changed in 2024. So damage is now more aligned between the styles and everything. It's a whole thing. We hit like a 600 earlier at Bloodveld's because we have the 40% already. Yeah, 45% bonus critical strike damage when we hit a crit. Sometimes. There's some percentage or whatever. Anyways, that ties it up with attack here. All well and good. Let's switch up to defense, I suppose. Not super concerned about getting any specific levels at this point. By the time we need any higher levels than this, we're going to have much better choices that we can make. Also, down here at Shadow Warriors. What a place this is. We got a few bits of salvage. Some runes if we wanted to pick those up. Herbs. Handful of coins. Black longsword. Nothing super crazy down here. These guys hit a little bit. That was basically 2 full inventories of food there. For not too much in the reward department. Unfortunate. And there is 70 Slayer. Milestone, achievement, unlock, and the level we were going for. Well, that is Karasks. Interesting. Could go look at those if we wanted to. And later on, Base Camp, Slayer Lodge Tier 2, and Corpicula Rex with 90 Hunter. What it doesn't say is that it is a mini quest requirement. And that is actually the next thing we need to get. Technically, there are some unlocks for levels we're going to need before this 70 Slayer mini quest. But that skill doesn't exist yet, so checking it off the list here. We do not need a higher Slayer level for a very long time. So we are not going to worry about that right now. But since we're here, I'm just going to finish the task. Why not? And now we're done. There's another superior guy. Not useful. Anyways, I'm going to go sell the runes and arrows here. Don't have any use for these, really. I'm just going to pop to a random general store. I can get to a lot of those very quickly. Probably Varrock. More transportation options, depending on where we need to go next. Updates and stuff. I have a general store here. Just sell everything off. All goes for the same price for each item, so get a little bit of money from this. Worth picking it up at least. End up with another few thousand coins from that task. Total cash stack, after all the Slayer, 1.5 million. It's definitely something. But it's not going to get us super far in construction or anything currently. So we have more money-making opportunities in the future we're going to be working on. But no more Slayer for right now. Some tasks that we could have gotten during this Slayer grind, but did not get. Blue dragons. Could have fought the big ones, got dragon bones, used them on the altar or something. Get some prayer XP. Bronze dragons. Would have canceled that. Or skipped it or whatever we could do. That would not have been good. There were cave crawlers. Not too bad. Crawling hands which technically aren't on the list, but were on the skipped list anyway, so couldn't skip them. Would also been fine. Infernal Mages probably would not have been a good time. They are mage guys. Lesser Demons, also mage guys. Mutated Zygomites. Nothing very good from that. But for the most part, we did a good number of Slayer tasks here. By the time we're ready to train Slayer again, we'll probably think about going to a different Slayer Master. We'll see how it goes. Way over there in time. We also have all of the different tools we have here. We don't need all these. But we're going to be needing to worry about all this immediately. We'll deal with the entire inventory when we need to here. Let's go do updates. Starting in the house for these updates here. On October 30th, 2006, 3/8 of users can't log in while one of the login servers are having some upgrades made. Surprisingly, that's a very specific amount. So apparently 5/8 still fine. It just depends what server you were on, I guess. Another thing that's also not working for a little bit is the bug tracker. Down for only a few minutes for maintenance. Always good to have maintenance going. Works nicely. Post bag from the hedge, number 12, with rats, chaos dwarves, and the wise old man answering your questions. More fun stuff. While we're here at the costume room, now getting things out requires the bank pin, which is nice. Keep your stuff secured. Like our spined armor here. Well protected. Still not a substitute for actual account security, so don't be leaking your passwords and everything. But anyways, also in the armor case, there's a new item available in here that we can put in. It's the mourner outfit. So we went and got this. When we get in the broken state, we'd have to repair it, but then we could store it in here. That will be useful in the future, so that's nice. Don't need to get it right now, though. Also need to consider how many sets we can store in here, because there's only so many. Something we need to consider, and also why we want to keep training construction, of course. Now that we're done with Slayer, we're not going to be getting that money. There's other things we can, though. In Slayer, the Slayer gloves used to require 17 Slayer, now require 42. But they're not very good and only used for killing fever spiders at level 42. So why there were 17 is a question. How mysterious. Over in Varrock, part of a door in the West Bank was gone. That's back now. Just pieces of doors disappearing. How spooky. Which is very, very relevant. Because over in Draenor Village, we get the Halloween event. Talking to Diango. Oh, we've killed a guard. He's dead now. Talking to Diango. He was getting an early start in his workshop, making some stuff for Christmas. But now everything is haunted. And also there's an evil tree in there, sucking people into the root system. It's a problem. So he gets your help to bust all those ghosts. Gives you the Ghost Buster 500 to blast haunted toys, get sucked down into the evil tree's roots to chop the roots away to get rid of the evil tree. All sorts of spooky fun. And as a reward, you get more Halloween stuff. Specifically, you get the Scared emote again, if you didn't get it last year. Emotes tend to return each year. It's just the outfits that are one-time kind of events, mostly. And for this outfit, we get a whole skeleton outfit. Very spooky. And if you want to be a little different, you can also get the jack-lantern mask. It's a pumpkin head. Doesn't quite go with the skeleton outfit, but well, that's okay. It's available, and it exists. And if you want to get these items back easily, not store a bunch of bank space, you can put them in your costume room, one of the boxes there. You can also use the retrieval service that Diango has. Mostly it's just going to be holiday items at this point. Later it expands to a whole bunch of things. But for now, just like the Halloween, Easter, and Christmas outfits and items and such. None of the really old tradable rewards, like party hats or anything. So you can't just get infinite party hats or something. That only happened that one time. Or probably anytime there's dupes. Anyways, not the main concern here. Very spooky. Very cool. And that's going to be available for 2 weeks. So, that's okay. Plenty of time to get through the event. Have a good time. Moving on November 1st, 2006. Behind the scenes. We got a quest with a monk that wants to fly. More bank space for the new skill. The new skill. Monster graphical reworks. And another flighty quest. With relation to the new skill also. Lots of cool stuff. On November 2nd, 2006, pay by SMS/text for the US. The cost is $9.99 a month instead of the regular $5 because of the extra costs of using all the systems. So it's twice as expensive. So that's not great. It's also not available for T-Mobile and Verizon because they don't support pay by text. So the amount of people that can most likely use this can and want to use this feature is probably pretty limited. Well, that's something. On November 6th, 2006, a new tree patch was added to the Gnome Stronghold. There wasn't one there before. And it wasn't on the map, so it just didn't exist. They had a fruit tree patch, but now they also have a regular tree patch. We got enough tree patches that having the 5th one didn't really make a difference. If we were farming just hundreds and hundreds of tree seeds, it would have been more noteworthy. We only got a handful, like when we were chopping for construction and stuff, so. That now exists, and we already have a tree in it. Oops. Another attempt was made for when you switch between magic and melee weapons to have it try to remember what melee style you had it on, whether like attack or stab or whatever. See how well that goes. The Demon Butler in the house got a graphical update to match slightly better with the new demons. The chain-hitting Rune Thronax special attack, which bounces between enemies, will no longer steal other people's aggressive random events, which is very strange. You just accidentally grab people's random events, or potentially intentionally. Depends what you're going for, I suppose. There's now a warning on dropping rune crafting pouches, because they empty all their essence when you drop them. You generally don't want that. The trimmed wizard hats from Clue Scrolls have been graphically updated to match with the new wizard hats that were recently changed. The trimmed woodcutting cape was bugged to take the color from your pants instead of the color it was supposed to be, so that's been fixed. It's been a whole thing with graphical reworks and such. And lastly, on this day, we get the next quest. Specifically, it is Enlightened Journey, requiring 21 quest points. Used to be 20, but the later tutorial counts as 1 quest point that's auto-completed and no longer possible to do. So everybody's quest points is just up by 1 compared to what it's supposed to be. Not as much of a problem anymore, once we got past, like, heroes and legends and all that, but that was the whole thing. Also, 36 crafting, 30 farming, 20 fire making. And that is perfectly fine. Easily have all those levels. Well, that's not a problem. Required items. Here's a list. At least 10 regular logs, 3 papyrus, a ball of wool, a full sack of potatoes, an unlit candle, a yellow dye, a red dye, 8 sacks, 10 silk, a bowl, and 12 willow branches. That is a lot of things. A lot of things. The willow branches were a thing, and so we have previously planted willow trees, which are now growing the branches. Have to specifically make sure that you checked the health of the willow tree before it starts making branches. We've done that, so we are in a good spot on that front. Chopping logs, go buy papyrus and a ball of wool, fill a sack with potatoes, get the sack from the farming store. Candle we can just buy, yellow and red dye we can make over with Aggie, 8 more sacks from the farming store, 10 silk, get that. Either buy an Alcarid, steal it in Ardoin, pick up a bowl. So no difficult item requirements. Pretty much the most difficult item requirement here is the fact that we need to go to Entrana. Bring neither weapons nor armor with you. And that is a requirement. Especially with how much time we're going to be spending on Entrana. Trying to juggle items on the ground here on the docks is not going to work. So we need to be prepared here. Got 5 fire runes here. That'll be a perfect amount. We need to go to the house and put some stuff away. Because we have that technology. And it works very nicely. We got our rock shell and our legendscape. I need to take the plate off too. Rock shell, right in the armor case. Legendscape, on the cape rack. Looking great. Jewelry is allowed on Entrana, so that's nice. I just need to deal with all of these weapons. The monks don't appreciate it. Not one bit. Dragon Halberd. Costs like 300-some thousand coins. Alks for 195. So definitely lose a bit of money there. We don't really need the leaf-bladed spear anymore, since we're not doing Slayer. That costs like 30-some thousand, we get 18,000 back. Dragon Mace costs 50,000, you get 30,000 back. And the Lunar Staff helps for nothing, so that's not even worth dealing with. We can just drop this, or even destroy. But it's a Lunar Staff, so we actually can get it back, which is nice. Just need to go back to the Lunar Isle, purchase it. It's like 30,000. I guess while we're there, we could also get the full set of Lunar Armor. Ornamencer, might be able to help you get another. Yep, Lunar Staff, goodbye. And then, we have the Lava Battle Staff, which we can't alch while wielding it, so that's why we got the Fire Runes. Lava Battle Staff, easily replaced by just getting a Fire Staff again, so not a huge loss. Alch that for 10,000 coins. We got another 253,000 coins here. Not enough to buy the Dragon Halberd back or anything, but it's something. We'll consider what weapon we want to repurchase, because we're going to need to fight things, obviously. The Dragon Halberd's a bit expensive, though. It's also pretty good, though. It's also pretty good. That leaves us with much more inventory space we can play with. We don't really need any of these sharks. There's not really any fighting. And now we need to get to Entrana. But it'd probably be a good plan to be prepared with the actual items we need. We're gonna go all around. Farm and store, Alcarid, make some dyes, get some bowls and sacks and potatoes, a candle and papyrus. Enough things. We can't store everything in the inventory all at once. Like, not the logs and willow branches for later. We can at least get started. Make some progress here. Really have to go all over the place when you don't have a bank with all the stuff already in it. Travel to Entrana. Monk smiles and we have nothing that's banned. New on Entrana. This area right over here. With August. And he's got a basket frame going on. Talk to August. Greetings. Would you like to be my #1 accomplice? I mean assistant. Who are you? I am August. I'm going to be the first balloonist in all of Gillinor. Baloo what? I thought only monks lived on Entrana. Well, they do. I was a monk. But I'm so sick of living on this island, I want to explore new frontiers. And go where no man has gone before? Maybe. That sounds good. I was thinking just over to Taverley, though. Well, why not take the boat, then? Ocean. Don't talk to me about the ocean. Oh dear, I feel ill. Whoa, okay, no ocean. How exactly are you going to get off the island, then? I have devised a new way of travel, but I need an assistant balloonist to help me build my design. Are you an experienced adventurer willing to help? Yes, indeedy. That's us. Sign me up for whatever's going on here. Wonderful. Let's get started. Wait, I still don't know exactly what we're doing. Of course. How foolish of me. Well, we are going to make a balloon. Which is what exactly? Let me show you. Picture. It's got a basket. It's got bags. It's a square. It's a rectangle. We got a circle up here with ropes and nets and stuff. Okay. That was the thing. How exactly do you plan to get to Taverley in that? How will it work? Have you noticed how ashes float above fires for long periods of time? No, I can't see in that kind of detail. Graphics. You don't? Oh. Well, it's just, they rise, you know, from the fire. Maybe we should pay more attention to things. There's also a slight reference to this guy here having one of the first more detailed face models here, which was wildly different from other NPCs. Everything in detail, and soon in even higher detail. But not just yet. Well, what's your point? Don't you see? It's the hot air. It rises, taking the ashes with it. I had this epiphany when I was at the glassblower's house. If we pump hot air into the envelope, it will rise because it is lighter than the cold air around it. Come again? We are going to sew a big sack and light a fire under it. Once the sack fills with hot air, it will begin to rise, taking us along with it in the basket. You seem pretty confident about this. Have you tested it? Well, no, you see. I don't have the materials here to make any test balloons. That's where you come in. You're going to collect materials for 2 test runs of the balloon. You'll need to gather 3 sheets of papyrus, 1 ball of wool, 1 full sack of potatoes, and 1 unlit candle. What am I supposed to do with all that junk? When you have all of it, bring it to me and I'll explain what to do next. Any questions? Where do I get all this stuff? You're the adventurer, you should know. Think of logical places, like churches. They have tons of candles. You can totally go steal a candle from the church here in Entrana. Don't need to, but you could. Which is an absolutely wild thing for a former priest to say. Like, just go rob the church, go for it. Have you gotten the materials? Yep. Good, you have everything. Now I need you to create an origami balloon. How do you make an origami balloon? First, use the papyrus on the ball of wool. The papyrus is folded into an origami box, and the yarn will support the heat source. Next, add the unlit candle to the balloon structure. It will act as the heat source. Once you have done that, let me know, and I'll explain our experiment. Alright. How to do origami. Just do it. Make a balloon structure. Tie it to the candle here. And we got an origami balloon. How fancy. I finished the origami balloon. Our crafting definitely helped with that. Wonderful. I'll take that, and we'll conduct our first experiment. Experiments. We got the balloon. We got the fire. And then... that was perfect. My hypothesis was right. Did you not see the burning? One more test and we shall proceed. Burning, fire, hello. We shall meekly go. No. Needs to sound grander. We shall cautiously go. We're doomed. It did literally go down in flames. In a very, very literal sense. Literally down in flames. A good test. And now, we have skipped part of the dialogue here. So we can drop some stuff and get the original dialogue here. Nope. Missing dialogue explaining what we need for the next test from August here. Do you have the other 2 sheets of papyrus and a full sack of potatoes? I guess he did ask us for those earlier. Okay. Yes, I have them here. Commendable. If I may have those, I'll conduct this experiment. So he's capable of doing this experiment at least. Bigger balloon. And here comes Bob, Curly, Mo. Destroy the floaty thing. There's Larry. They literally attacked. And also burned down that balloon. Well, that went down like a lead balloon. Do we have lead? Good questions. It floated for a little bit, though, until the peasants attacked. Those peasants, where did they come from? Ah, the flash mob phenomenon. Many have hypothesized that they are beings of great power, sent to smite those who question the gods. And this isn't worrying because... Don't worry, I know exactly what I'm doing. Those experiments went extraordinarily well. Was I the only one who saw the burning? Burning! Yes, very well indeed. Now we will start building the balloon that will carry us off this island. This task will be much greater than the last 2. I hope you are prepared for it. This is madness. You need to get the following items. Yellow dye, red dye, 10 pieces of silk, a clay bowl, and 8 sandbags. Sandbags can be made by getting empty sacks and filling them with a sand pit here on Entrana. However, there are other sand pits around the world, and they'll work as well. There's one in Yanil, Roleka, and Xanaris. You can bring these items back as you get them, while you're waiting for your tree to grow. What tree? I'm going to give you a willow sapling and a basket of apples. You must plant the willow sapling on a tree patch. You get the basket of apples to the gardener near the patch. He'll look after the tree for you while it grows. Don't lose the sapling. It took me a long time to save up enough for one. If you do, you'll have to pay me 30,000 coins for a new one. Once the tree is fully grown, cut 12 branches from it using secateurs. Bring the branches back here and use them on the metal frame on the platform to create the basket. There you go. Now be very careful not to lose it. 1 free, I guess, sapling. A willow sapling. Very convenient if you didn't already have willow trees planted. Although it could be significantly more convenient. Anyways, making the sandbags here. And go turn in a few things with August. As we have a few things. Anything for me? Yes, I want to give you some items. We got the dyes. Here's the dye. Ah, wonderful. Yellow dye, thank you. And red dye, thank you. Got the sandbags. Sandbags, thank you. This will allow us to change height. I've got the bowl. Ah, the bowl. This is used to hold the fuel while it heats the air in the balloon. Now we just need the silk. And we also need the willow branches. So we need to get those things. We can go around, deal with most of this. Especially with the house here. It's also nice that we can bring runes on Entrana. That'd be annoying if we couldn't. Of course the house is right nearby, so it's not a huge situation. First stop is going to be here in Lumbridge. Just to plant this sapling. We got a free sapling, we might as well use it. Seems like a good idea to me. We also probably don't technically need any compost for this. What with the whole paying for it? That's alright. I just we get XP for putting it on anyways. We're gonna need secateurs, we're gonna need spade. Anything else? That should be fine. And we need to get rid of the tree first though. Where's the gardener here? Pay to get rid of the tree. Obligingly removes the tree. Costs a little bit. We don't have an axe on us currently either, so this is fine. Plant August sapling. He will not give you any more. So we can't even go buy the other one for 30k. That's kind of expensive for a willow sapling anyway, so that's fine. Then we can pay Faith here. Basket of apples, yes. That'll do nicely, sir. Leave it with me. I'll make sure it grows for you. Since we had the basket there too, might as well. Okay. So now we need to go get silk. That's accomplishable over in Alcarid. Easy enough. I can see if we have enough space for all these things. Once we put these away, potentially. Because we're going to need 10 silk. We're going to need the 12 willow branches. That's 22 items. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Perfect. We'll need to do another step afterwards. That's alright. Talk to the silk merchant. Do you want to buy any fine silks? How much are they? 3 GP. That sounds good. You can haggle them down to 2. We're kind of not interested in doing additional dialogues to save 1 GP. This is a money-making method. Get the silk here, sell it in Ardoin for like 60. That's pretty good. We got better options though, obviously. Also, less annoying options. We just need 10 unnoted silk here. Which is easy because we don't really note things. Haven't really had to deal with the noting system too much. Later we will, though. Later we will. Sounds good. I'll buy some silk. Sounds good. Buy some silk. And there you go. 10 silk. Just like that. And now we need the willow branches, which we can get from our willow trees. Went around and made sure the willow trees were ready to go. And we have them ready to go. Yep. First one, here in Varrock. Gonna harvest willow branches from the willow tree. Very specifically made sure to not override the willow trees with other trees while we were doing the farming. Gather branches with the secateurs. Snip, snip. Willow branches. What a thing. One annoyance with this system is the number of willow branches that you can get per tree. They top out at 6. Only start growing once you've examined the tree and got the experience, and take quite some time to regrow. So if you only have the 1 tree from the quest, it's going to take the entire time it takes for a willow tree to grow, and then all the time for the branches, and then all the time for the branches again. So having prepared willow trees really speeds this process up. Or just having harvested the branches earlier. That would also have worked if you have a bank. Another tree here in Falador. We'll drop the branches to get enough space to harvest more branches. Then put some stuff away, and then we're pretty much good. Snip, snip, snip. No farming experience or anything for collecting the branches here. That's a shame. Well, that's fine. And exchange the leprechaun. Put these away. And grab our branches. Right on the floor here. And that is everything we need. Well, almost everything. Still need a few more things for the actual stuff, but for now, this is everything we need. Back to Entrana. It really is nice just being able to be here and not be always worried about what's on the ground back in Port Sarim. We've got the willow branches to use on the basket here. You have all the construction items before you make the basket. Oh, we need the silk first. And it's a system of orders here. Do you have anything for me? Maybe some items. The silk. Here's the silk. Silk for the balloon. Thank you. And that's the last of it. You just need to build the basket, and I can finish the balloon. How are you getting on with the willow? I'm doing just fine with the willow, thanks. You just gave me free farming speed is what you did. I'm fine with that. Great, let me just put it all together. We'll be ready for liftoff. Speak to me in a moment. So we couldn't do the origami balloon, but he can make this. We make the basket, and he makes this whole thing out of 10 pieces of silk. Well, at least we don't, if we need to gather hundreds of pieces of silk, that'd be annoying. So I'm fine with that. It's also already on fire. It's already floating. Look at that. Really going. And it hasn't completely combusted yet, so that's also good news. Well, let's get going. Wait, tell me what we're doing. Theoretically, we are ready for the maiden voyage. Theoretically? Well, of course. With you piloting, I am sure we will survive. What? This is your balloon. Why aren't you going to pilot it? What do you mean survive? You never said anything about me flying this bird. Don't be silly. I'm not going to pilot it. It'll be safe in the basket. The only thing we will lose are the logs. You will pilot it, won't you? Fine, I will. So how do I control the balloon? Wonderful. Let me explain my hypothesis on how to control the balloon. Oh no, not another hypothesis. The balloon needs 10 normal logs for fuel. I believe the balloon will be controlled based on weight. You must not have more than 40 kilograms with you. Also, I seem to have lost my tinderbox. Do you think you could bring one? We need it to light the fire. And here, I thought all the legwork was done. Fine, I'll bring a tinderbox. Right, so balloon mechanics. Your prime direction will always be to land the balloon on the target at the end of our route. I've written to some friends in Taverley who have kindly painted one on the ground there. We must avoid everything, because the balloon is very fragile. Even clouds will be dangerous. But if my calculations are correct, we'll be able to squeeze through some surprising spaces, if you pilot it well. Those sandbags you made earlier will give the balloon a big lift when dropped, whereas adding the logs will only make it rise a little bit. But don't use them up too quickly. We have no way of replenishing them. If you do run out of logs and sandbags, we'll not be able to go up any longer. Just make the best of it and hope we can make it to our destination without going upwards. I've added 2 ropes. The red was an emergency rope. It will let the hot air out of the balloon. We will drop quickly. The other rope will only drop us a little. If we get into trouble, in all likelihood we will crash. But do not fear. We should be fine. Just make sure you come back to Entrana so we can try again. If it all goes horribly wrong, you can always bail. If we're still over Entrana, we can land quickly and try again. However, once past the island, we will crash. Are you ready to go? Well, no, I'm not ready because I don't have the logs. We need logs. And for that, we need an axe, because tool belt doesn't exist yet. We have all these convenient trees right here, if we had a tool belt. So we need to go get an axe and chop down some regular trees. Oh boy. Also chopped some oak logs for later. We are technically over 40 kilograms. We're also using all of these logs for the actual flight here, so in theory they should be discounted and we should be under. See how it works. Well, let's get going. Okay. And here we go. We've got this interface. Seems to be another one of these everything's broken interfaces. Basically, we have to navigate through with a combination of sandbags and ropes and logs and such. Drop a sandbag, burn a log, just relax, whole bunch, and then we can pull the red rope to go down a bunch, relax some more, regular rope to go down just a little bit, get under these clouds, relax, 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 relax. And that pushes us to the second page here, which probably exists. Burn a log. Relax. Burn a log. Relax for a while. This nice open air right here. Very weird. And then we burn another log to get over the roof and relax some more. Just chilling. Everything's fine. And then the final panel here. Relax straight into this cloud and bird fiesta. Squeeze through with a red rope. Go down some more with a regular rope. Wait a little bit. Go back up with a log. Relax a little bit more. And pull the rope to land. And that is how you get to Taverley. Up to August. We have traveled in a way that no man has traveled before. The next step will be to go where no men have gone before. Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic, it has been a privilege flying with you. For all your hard work, I give you this jacket and cap for future ballooning adventures. Oh boy. Quest complete. 1 quest point. 200 2,000 crafting XP, 3,000 farming XP, 1,500 woodcutting XP, 4,000 firemaking XP, the bomber jacket and bomber cap, which we can put in the house, access to the balloon transport system, and we can make origami balloons if we want to. Take a look at this outfit here. Looks appropriate. Very fancy. Let's see what that looked like here. Surprisingly, looked like the actual ballooning interface actually did work. Over here on OBS, the time recorded was wildly wrong and stuck in the same seconds. But it looked okay, I guess, so whatever. And that's good because we're going to be getting a whole bunch more of these. Talk to August some more. So what are you going to do now? I am considering starting a balloon enterprise. People all over Gillinor will be able to travel in a new, exciting way. As my first assistant, you'll always be welcome to use a balloon. You have to bring your own fuel, though. Thanks. I'll base my operations in Entrana. If you'd like to travel to new places, come see me there. Do you want to use a balloon? Just so you know, some locations require special logs and high fire-making skills. Yes. Back to Entrana. The Taverley location here is definitely a good spot. Or it was more useful, honestly. A somewhat viable method in old school for using the balloons to get around. Have your house in Taverley here. Run over to the balloon. Chop a log along the way. But the trees are different now, so you can't go to the same locations with that method anymore. It's a little inconvenient. We can fly the basket back to Entrana, though, here. Weapons are not allowed on Entrana. I must search you first. Quickly searched. 1 charge made a trip. You currently have 0 charges. The charge system. Yeah, it's also new. We need to go unlock the routes here, but we need to use charges instead of just having logs. So in order to charge system, there is a store logs feature here. Can you hold on to my logs? I can. If you give me higher level logs, you can travel further. Hand over your logs. We have 22 charges. And by that he means we have regular logs and oak logs. Back to Entrana, quickly searched. Everything's fine. There we go. And that gets us going here. For getting to the other locations, it's different amounts of charges, which require a different amount of logs previously. First, where we're going to be going. Talking to August. Hello, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. It is good to see you again. My enterprise has grown since we last met. I've expanded all over Gillinor. I'd like to go to a new location. You'll have to help fly the balloon again. Some of the routes are very dangerous. But each route you complete will earn you fire-making XP. Once you've opened a route, it only costs 1 log of the corresponding type to travel there again, from any location you've already opened. Also, I've hired assistants to watch over the balloons at each new location we go to. They'll help you get where you want to go. You want to use the balloon? Just so you know, some locations require special logs and high fire-making skills. Yes. A lot of the dialogue here is not quite up to date with the 2019 changes for the whole charge system here. Also, no weight requirements anymore. Not that 40 kilograms was really ever a huge amount for most things. Well, that's something. First route to unlock. To the Crafting Guild. Requiring 10 oak logs, or the amount of charges that 10 oak logs were worth. So, close enough. Board the balloon. Heading towards the Crafting Guild. Again, a similar idea here. going through the whole system. Relaxing for a bit. Avoiding the clouds and even the killer watts here. Which is dangerous. We have only the number of balloons and number of sandbags. So that is also something to consider. Can't run to a bird, we'd also die. Lots of problems. Relaxing here. Clearly in a pickle. Move up. And then squeeze through here. Very safe, very cool. Relax, relax. Down a little bit. Relax. Back up a bit. And relax some more. There's only so many places you can really go here. You do want to try to limit the logs because you don't get more of those. Same with the sandbags. Avoid crashing into a boat. Also a good plan. Just keep it working. Avoid the killer watts and the clouds and everything. Also, this requires 20 fire making. So we obviously have that level. It's fine. We need to go down a bit. Just squeezing through here. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you really have the space. You totally do. It's totally fine. Up here. And there's also a shark on the side there. Wild. Alright. Relax some more. Use one of the sandbags since it's available. And then a little bit further. You can clearly see the spots you can't be in. Just where is a balloon-sized hole that you can occupy. And generally works out. Then you want to land on top of the landing spot and not like crash into it. That'd be inconvenient, to say the least. 2,000 fire making XP for our fantastic journey here. And now we are outside the crafting guild. This also puts the baskets, the whole balloons here, so you can visually see where you have unlocked. Well, that's nice. Now we need to go get more logs and such for more routes and such. Want to wear the bomber outfit until we're done? I suppose. It's very appropriate for all this ballooning we're doing. But of course we need to go get the axe back again. That's also something. Well, I can't pass that up, can I? Got a bird's nest and a pineapple seed. I guess we're gonna go do some farming here too. Why not? Piles and piles of logs here. 10, technically 11 willow logs, a normal log to come back to Entrana, and 10 yew logs. Store all these, they totally count. Numbers, charges, sure. Use the basket. Continue to the next spot, which is Varrock. Board the balloon. Using 10 willow logs and 40 fire making. Going to Varrock. Once again, another one of these. Kind of a very similar idea. Might be technically harder as you get to the higher level ones, technically. Start by burning a whole bunch of the logs here. You also can't go too high or we hit the infinity cloud layer. That's a thing. Just always cloudy. Which is a question because currently with the draw distance and everything, it's more of a black void across everywhere in the entire world, in every direction. Not going to worry about that. We're just going to go here, move into the only section we could even possibly get to in this line, and then immediately get out of it. Very safe. Very cool. Don't need to crash. We could, just for the content, but not going to. That requires going and getting more logs and stuff. Really can't be asked right now. We just want to accomplish what we're doing here. Going towards this building. Go up. Don't hit the cloud. Go up again. over the killer watt, which are apparently just all up in the sky here, which is definitely something. Down, down, under that cloud. Also, the clouds are at the height of buildings. That's also a thing that's happening. And that's something. Wouldn't be too difficult if it was just nothing in the way and just relax over the entire place. Here is Varrock Castle here. Very cool. Need to move our balloon over each of their flags. Which is definitely something. And then shoot back up. Don't have enough logs to go up and down enough times here. So it's tactical. It's tactical. That's one of the limiting factors we got going for us. And the distance that the log moves you up to. Something to consider. Go down. Just on the edge of the castle here. I'm sure the castle guards are very appreciative of us just flying right over. Very safe, very cool. And we land, get 2,000 more fire making XP, and unlock the balloon here near the sawmill. It totally exists still. And this is how you would get here in order to make your logs into planks and then go somewhere else. Once again, the trees don't quite work. And now there isn't even the sawmill here. We have the butler instead, which is slightly different. It's a system. It's a system. Now we use the one regular log we had to return to Intrana again. And this time, we're to the next spot. Using the U logs that we brought. Also, that's an achievement here. Which does bring up the point that we're going to need to deal with potentially using these, one of these are actually a thing, to somewhere else though, so we might be able to travel from Varrock to not Intrana, hopefully. Anyways, next spot, going to Castle Wars, requiring the 10 U logs and 50 fire making. Skipping Maple entirely, for whatever reason. Maple can't even be used for the later on point system. Maple Fire is just completely useless, apparently. To Castle Wars. And wow, what do you know? Another screen. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Flying back over the ocean. Over the clouds and over everything. Through it, around it. All works out. Emergency rope to get under the bird. Climb back up a little bit. There's probably only one real path. There's some instances where you could do slightly different things. But fundamentally, doesn't really make a change. Squeeze between these clouds. We're gonna get to the only section where we can leave. Because there's like a shark down here too, which wouldn't help. Fly off to here, where we have to move around the clouds again, of course. Down below the clouds. Down a little bit more. Infinite ropes definitely does help quite a bit. Gets you where you need to be, at least. Here. Shoot up. Get over everything here. Back down and up. Down and up. Log. Rope. Relax. And we're immediately stuck in a hard place here. So we need to get out of here. Log. Over here. Drop down. Keep going this way. Another log. Down some more. Underneath this section. The fact that you can just move 2 entire units up and down really does make getting through things actually work. Which is nice. Relax. And set it down right outside Castle Wars. 2,000 firemaking XP. And we're here. At Castle Wars. Travel to Castle Wars by hot air balloon. Check and check. I think I will try to do all the actual achievements for the achievement diaries once those actually exist. That'll be something. There's one final route to unlock. So we need to get more locks. The final route, requiring 3 magic logs and 60 firemaking, but also way more of the flying log points, so I need to get a bunch of extra logs here to have enough. We fly to the Grand Tree. Board the balloon. Wow, it's another one of these. Who would have thought? The last one. First page here, ridiculously easy. Relax. Just relax. Everything's fine. Pull the rope. Then relax. Just all the way across here. The clouds have parted. We're just having a good time. Until we get to the forest here. We need to work a little bit more. Log and rope and log and rope and log. Just weave in between there. Log and rope. Past the birds. Past this, past that. Sandbag over here. And then we can red rope down here. Then a little bit lower. Get under these birds. Relax. Relax. And then over the waterfall. What a spot. Even though we only brought the 3 logs, we still get the 10 logs of movement. Magic logs we don't need to burn as much. We just burn a third of a log or something. Relax. Relax. Underneath this bird, top of the waterfall. Very safe, very cool. Relax, relax, relax. Just relax. Until we need to emergency move. Emergency rope. Regular rope. And coast right on in to the end. And that is an achievement. Around the world in 6 ways. Unlock all the hot air balloon travel routes. Safely made it to the Gnome Stronghold. Oh boy. So now, that exists. I really don't think we have too much use for the balloon routes. Unfortunately. It's very thematic. We put balloons around the world. So that counts for something, I suppose. We can go and put the outfit away here, get our armor back out. The armor is kind of heavy, so if we want to run around a whole bunch, we don't really need it, but still. Armor case. Take out the rock shell and deposit the bomber jacket and cap. That all works. And then we also get back out the legend cape. Very cool. Could totally get a fire cape in here. God cape also be good. We do need to go and get a weapon now. I looked to see when next we aren't allowed to have a weapon or anything at all. That's not for a while. So I think just to make any fights we have nicer on us, and so we can fight things if we want to, I'm just going to go get the Dragon Halberd. That is 300,000 coins. That's okay. We also do need to get Lunar Staff. That'd be nice to have. So we'll go to a few more locations here. Recover from our trip to Intrana. The charter ship to Port Tyrus really makes getting to the Tyrus camp here a breeze. Still a bit of a walk to get all the way to Leia for Elf task and all that, but it's okay. Quartermaster. He's got stuff for trade. And then Dragon Halberd. Out just for like 190 and we're buying back for 325. Are you sure? Yeah, I am. It's just so much better than just, like, getting a dragon mace. Like, literally 50% better. That's how EOC works. Also has halberd range. That's also a big plus. And now, back to Lunar Isle, which would be easier to get to if we were on the Lunar Spellbook, but we're not. Needed to get the Seal of Passage to come back to Lunar Isle here. Then also clicked on it and it has a teleport feature that teleported me here. So that was a little weird. Not a thing yet. Not to the Neuromancer. Hi, how are things going? Well, hopefully a lot better now that you have initiated the calm between the Moon Clan and the Fremenniks. Remember, if you want to use our lunar spells at any time, pray at the altar beside me, you can modify your knowledge. I've misplaced my staff. I knew you'd do that, and I used my magic to teleport it back to me. That doesn't sound too realistic. Thanks. Look, do you want it or not? Sorry, yes, please. What's going to cost you? It'll be 30,000 coins. Yeah, I'll pay that. Absolutely worth it to get the lunar staff back. The Neuromancer. Talk about things. I lost my lunar helm. And Harry. Knew that. Got a backup. Cost you 15,000. Yeah, I'll pay that. I've also lost my lunar torso. Well, of course, I knew that already. So I got a backup for you. It's gonna cost you 120,000 coins. It's a bit expensive, but totally worth it. Lunar trousers, 80,000. Very similar to what Mystic would have cost. It's not a crazy amount here. It's definitely the magic armor we would want to be using. Except for some of them. But they are required to store it in the house, so that's okay. These last three weren't too expensive. They're probably the three we would not want to use. The actual base set here would be pretty good. Also avoids us having to go get skeletal, which is nice. Put this in the house. Get rid of the amulet here, we don't need that. So yeah, very good. Magic stuff goes in the magic wardrobe. So put that in here. Store the lunar set. Deposit it all. The staff doesn't go in there, which is nice. It allows us to actually have the staff. Works for me. Got some law runes, nature runes, air runes, earth runes, lunar staff. That's something. Gets the job done at least. We'll use the lunar staff to get around to all sorts of places. Like some new places that are added with the new skill. Next time. Goodbye.